Peace on the Streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Streets.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Peace on the Streets radio show with your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
And your girl, Lexi.
Hey!
How everybody doing out there in Orlando? Hope you guys are doing well. And so thank you for tuning in to Peace on the Streets. What it do, Mimi?
It's due. It's hot.
Yeah, it is summertime in Florida.
It is, and raining every day.
How you doing, Alexis?
Oh, I'm doing good. It is hot and humid out. I feel like I walk outside in the morning and can barely breathe.
Well, you know it knocks out some of that corona.
That's true.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anything can get rid of some of this corona.
Alexis, you're graduating
doing
soon,
good.
huh?
Yeah, I can't wait.
In one more month.
Actually, I have one more day of class. Yeah.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
That's what's happening. I know you glad.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So thank you all for tuning in to Peace on the Streets. We have a full lineup today, you guys.
Yes, we do.
We have Chef Stewart.
Yep.
He's coming up. He's at the top of the lineup. He's going to come up and he's going to talk a little bit about food. And he's a celebrity chef. We kind of excited.
He's
you
been on the
guys.
Food Network. His resume is impressive, and he's calling live from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes, sir. So we got a Chef Stu, and we also have another chef. He's coming in as well.
He's a local chef here in Orlando.
Chef Rich.
That's right.
And I mean, he's doing big things.
Yes.
You guys don't want to miss it. And we have a lot of plans with Chef Rich. So you guys, Nurse V.
That's right. She's still at the testing centers. They're still out, and they're going to Apopka High School. She's going to release that information.
Right. And we have Dr. Sydney Banye.
Yes.
She's at the top of the hour, the 10 o'clock hour. So you guys don't want to miss her. Who else do we have?
Miss
Mimi?
World International.
Miss Angela.
She's also gave us some feedback to is it Florida National News that she released our name
Right.
on another network.
What you
Big
say?
shout out.
Yes, indeed. Peace on the Streets is doing some things, Alexis. And speaking of Alexis is our sports reporter.
Yeah, she knows her sports.
Yeah.
She gets me the question. And she's going to have a question like trivia kind of later on this
Yeah.
evening.
You got something for us, Alexis?
Yeah, I have some questions for you guys to see how you feel about it.
All right. Then we got the news today that's going on in the world today. A lot of another cop killing, and you know.
I saw that video.
You know, so.
Did you see the video?
Yes, I did. Unbelievable.
It makes me want to just go through it. Like, how are they not listening to the public, though? They're telling these guys, like he can't breathe, like, get off of him.
Right.
Like, there's blood coming out of his nose.
Yeah.
Aren't they supposed to listen to the public, though? Aren't they supposed to be a judge of peace?
Protect
More
and
of peace?
serve.
Yeah,
Protect
protect,
and
serve,
serve.
but make peace.
Most definitely. Speaking of peace, hold on. I think I got Chef Stu right on.
Ooh.
Celebrity Chef Stu, how are you, sir?
Yeah.
You doing fine in yourself?
We're doing wonderful, brother. Welcome to Peace on the Streets radio show, and it is an honor to have you on, brother.
It's always an honor to be on. I always start by saying all good things come from God, but the helping hand certainly belong to you. So thank you for the opportunity to come on and share my story and hopefully inspire the listeners.
I know that's right. So tell us a little bit about you, brother. Where you from, and what made you become a chef or want to be a chef?
Okay, my name is Robert Stewart. I know a lot of people get screwed because they call me Stu, so they think Stewart is my first name, but the kitchen operates like a brigade similar to the Army, and so they call chefs by their last name. So technically my name is Robert Stewart. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. And I kind of grew up cooking as a survival thing, to be honest with you. Don't tell my mother that I told you, but my mother actually couldn't cook. And it was weird because I come from a really big family on my mother's side. My grandmother had 13 kids.
Wow.
And so none of them would be actually professional chefs, but a lot of my uncles actually went to the Army and cooked in the Army and then came back and did some other things. And so it was almost like a little thing that almost everybody in the family could cook. However, my mother kind of, I guess, skipped over it. And so we used to just be like, man, going to my grandmother's house on the weekend and staying over there. My grandmother was cooking 3 meals a day, so it was like you get to eat all this great food, and then you go home, and it's like, man, why you can't do what she was able to do? And funny as it would be, though, my mother ended up working nights, and so when she switched her schedule, we would get out of school at like 2 something. She had to be to work at 3. And so she would cook stuff and leave it for us. But obviously coming home from school, your mother not there, you can kind of hang out a little bit. And then it's time to eat dinner. It's like, wait a minute, this food's been sitting over there for the longest. And so pretty much complaining about the food wasn't always that good. And sometimes we really, wanted something else. She said, cool, I got to fix this. You the oldest Robert cook. And so around about 12, 13 years old, that's pretty much when I started cooking. I just picked up stuff from my grandmother's house and came back home and cooked for me and my brother. He was like my crash test dummy. You remember the commercial Kicks? Give it to Mikey, he'll eat it.
Yes.
Same thing to my brother. Like, I don't know if this is done, but you eat it. If you don't drop down, I'm going to try it too. So that's how that became. And from that, I went to culinary school. And after I graduated from that, I kind of like left the chef thing alone because I had been cooking so long as a kid and growing up into a young adult. And so at that point, it had probably been like 6 or 7 years strong of practically cooking almost every night. Like, so I was just like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm ready to go do something else. I tried a whole bunch of other things, but I always think about like the purpose-driven life. Like after a while, you kind of step back into your purpose. And so I always share the real truth of it. Like I ended up losing my house. I lost the car. I mean, the girl at the time kind of just fell out. It just was a lot. And I had to kind of just like regroup, and I ended up getting a job at a restaurant. And as I'm interviewing for the job, like I'm telling the guy, yeah, I went to school, I did this, I went to college for business management, you well spoke. I mean, like I kind of wrote out all the positive qualities about myself. And, it's crazy as it would seem that the restaurant industry is really big on personality as well as being able to cook.
Most
and
definitely.
So from that, I just was like, okay, cool, God, you sent me through all of these things to get me back in the kitchen. I totally did it. I'm here now, and I can go.
Wow.
And that's how it all transpired. And so I had no dreams or aspirations to really become a celebrity chef. Like my whole goal was once I got back into the kitchen, and I realized that I was business minded. I was a people person, and so I wanted my own restaurant so I could be, a business owner. And from that, I guess he said, well, now that you are in alignment with what I've laid before you, let me show you where this path takes you. And so I'm in awe that I would end up cooking on television and winning competitions and becoming a Food Network star and cooking for celebrities and like all of those things that happened. But I was cool when I was slicing pickles at the deli. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Right. And the most amazing thing about food is cooking and have someone to eat it and tell you how good it is. So it's nothing more gratifying than being a chef or being a cook, because I like to cook myself.
You do.
And,
Food brings people together.
It does.
And my mother always said, like, always feed your friends or feed your family.
Yeah.
You'll gather everyone together all the time.
We'll feed you. We ain't getting your ass no money. I mean, we ain't getting you no money. We'll feed you all day, but it ain't getting you no
That's
money,
it.
man. That's
Yeah.
where I come from. We'll feed you.
What a testimony he has.
Yes.
What a journey. He really, that wasn't even his passion at the time, but he had it in him,
Right.
and it's, some of us don't know where we're going and to a certain point. And a lot of our gifts, we have a lot. We have plenty.
Yeah.
A lot of us have different multiple gifts,
Right.
but to find your way is hard.
It is. And that's when you know you're in your gift. When you'll do things that you normally that you'll do for free, but you get paid
That's
to do
it.
it, and you don't mind doing it. It's not a struggle. Like with me doing landscaping, it's not a struggle. And doing barbecue, it's not
Yes,
a
it's
struggle.
not.
I love doing what I do.
So, Chef Stu, real quick, how did they find you? I know you were doing competitions, but how did they find you? What made you step into a whole new light of the celebrity chef?
Well, the celebrity chef thing happened like a long time before. Like a lot of people just getting caught up now, but these are great questions. And so really what happened was I was living in Atlanta at the time. I was working at all these different restaurants. I was picking up as many techniques and methods and recipes as I could. And so I ended up working at Turner Broadcasting in Atlanta. And so, that's a real big TV network.
Yes.
I was cooking in the cafeteria now. Remember the show Read Between the Lines with Tracy Ellis Ross and Jamal Warner? I used to cook for the set of that show. They had a breakfast setup. I would go down and do an omelet station and stuff like that for them to cook for them while they were shooting the show. And so I didn't get pictures with them at the time. But Shaquille O'Neal actually was over there as well. He was doing the show, I think, with TNT for the basketball thing, and I had a chance to cook Shaq some lunch one time and some breakfast, and I got a picture with Shaq because I said, listen, my son, he had never believed this one, so I got to get a picture of Shaq. And then from that, David Banner also was in Turner Bread. So, like, my first 4 celebrities was Tracy Ellis Ross, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Shaquille O'Neal, and David Banner. And so, like, that's when it dawned on me, like, wait a minute. Because I don't take nothing lightly, and I understood that everything was ordained. And so I was like, okay, cool. I get why I work over here now. So it ain't just about me cooking. And then it was TV and celebrities all in the same day. So it was crazy. Now, when I took those pictures with Shaq and David Banner, of course, I posted them on my social media page, kind of be like, look who I cooked for today type of a thing. And so it just so happens that some guys in Atlanta was talking about doing some sort of a reality television show because, you know, Atlanta's kind of big on reality TV in a sense. And so they was like, look, we're trying to create a show, and we need a chef, and we think that you're great. And I was like, I really never planned on being on TV before, but let's see how we do. And they wanted to do a test shoot with me one day. And so they wanted to kind of go over something. I said, well, listen, why don't y'all just come to my house? Like, I'm a chef for real. Like, I got the right pots, the right pans, the right everything. Instead of me taking all this stuff over to somebody else's house because I don't want to go somewhere and I don't really know what they got. And so they ended up coming to the house and they was like, oh man, your house is perfect for this. Let's just shoot the show at your house.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, all right, cool. So we ended up shooting the show, and literally one of the first or second guests on the show was Jasmine Guy and Demetra McKinley.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Chef.
At that point, like, it was crazy because I'm saying, okay, well, I cooked for Shaq and all of them prior, and that was like on, so to speak, somebody else's turf. But like now I got Jasmine Guy in my damn house. I got Demetra McKinley in my damn house.
Jasmine
they
Guy.
in here chilling. And so from that, we just started shooting shows. And it was like, all right, well, then, like, those pictures went up, that footage went up. And at the time, you know, so many people in Atlanta, you know, rapping and doing sports. And so, like, it kind of just was like a little cool little thing because people were like, do you rap? I'm like, nah, I don't rap, I cook. So it was like, okay, perfect. You know what? We never say we know what we need to use. We need to highlight that a little bit. And so from that, we called the show Industry Suit with Chef Stew. They was calling me a celebrity chef, but I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm still kind of strapped for cash, so I don't know if I'm really
you know, I get that. They give you that title, and you kind of feel like, wait, but you with celebrities, so
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
right.
But the chef, I hate to have to wrap this party up. We're going to have to do another interview with him very soon.
I know. I want to bring him back. Chef
Yeah.
Stu, do you mind coming back on Peace on the Streets?
Yeah, no problem. I'll come back at some point. If I could just shout out my social media.
Please do.
Please do.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to learn more about me, Chef Stew, definitely go to my website, www.chefstew.com. And again, Stew is spelled S-T-E-W. I can be found on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, I'm everywhere. Hashtag Chef Stew. You should definitely find me. Please go to my YouTube channel. I'm just dropping another cooking show called How To with Chef Stew. It airs in about 6 or 7 days, available on Google TV, but I got some promo clips on YouTube that you guys can go and see. And we'll pick back up at a later date, and I'll finish telling you guys how I went from living in Baltimore City to one of the top African-American chefs in the world.
Oh
Y'all
my
give
gosh,
it up,
amazing.
our God, Chef Stew in the house, you guys. We appreciate you, Chef Stew. And if you're ever in Orlando, you come down here and cook for us, brother.
Oh, I would love
You
that.
already know.
Yes, Chef Stu, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada.
On
Woo!
Peace on the Streets, y'all. Thanks, Chef. Welcome back to Peace on the Streets. This is old school jam right
yes.
here. Mr. Rich, what you know about that, brother? How you doing today?
Good. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being in. And you guys, this is our celebrity chef, Chef Rich.
And I know Chef Rich doesn't really like to be called a celebrity, but we
No.
can't help it.
We can't I mean, hey, that's what we do right here on Peace on the Streets. How you been, brother?
Good. Blessed. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So tell us something about you, Mr. Rich, that we don't know. Tell us how you got started in your journey and what made you end up where you are today.
Yeah, I guess growing up, food was always a big part of our lives, especially in Hispanic families. I mean, it seemed like the family always ended up in the kitchen. So like all family parties always ended up in the kitchen, and it was all about food. So I guess I always grew up with it. And then after I got in the military, we did a little job here, a little job there. and went to culinary school and just fell in love with it and have been doing it ever since.
You're right. Didn't I just discuss about family? When you feed Hispanics or Latinos and Latinas is what it's called, we could gather and we'll sit there and talk for hours.
We will too, especially if it's free. Especially if they don't have to bring nothing.
That's everybody's favorite recipe. Free.
That's it.
Yeah.
What got you to know though that's your passion though, with cooking itself? Because you took it on a whole nother level.
You know, I took it to a level where I know it can help people. And my whole mission now is really to serve people. And really what kills me is what's happening to the country and the health right now. You know, everybody's suffering from some type of chronic illness, whether it be, you know, heart disease, stroke, obesity.
Cancer.
And food can actually, and it's been proven time and time again, food can actually prevent and reverse a lot of this chronic illness.
Wow.
You know, so when I was getting my master's degree, I really focused around that area, you know, and see how we can help. How can I'm in love with food and culinary techniques, and how can I apply that to really help people? And it was one of these things that it just kind of everything lined up. God knew exactly what he was doing and put me into this place, and that's where I've been ever since now.
Wow, that's so true. I know a few people that had cancer, and they actually told me the way they ate harmed them, and they're reversing the way they're eating, but after the fact. And so they're trying to teach us on how very important it is what you consume, which we all knew, but we're going by what the government are allowing us to eat, so we believe it. And I know we discussed about organic, and yeah,
and we got to get a quick song in.
Yeah, you guys got to hear him on this.
And you all got to hear this about organic chicken than regular chicken. He gonna school us today,
yes,
you guys.
He is.
We're gonna get healthy. We're gonna eat right the rest of the 2020 and get rid of all this virus and all this craziness that's going on. So you guys stay tuned to Peace on the Streets radio show with your host Prince of the Sun
and your girl Mimi with
Chef Rich.
Woo!
Right here on Peace on the Streets. Welcome back, you guys, to Peace on the Streets radio show. And that was our guy, Therese.
Man, I miss him.
Man,
that's a song right there, Prince.
Yeah, well, that was one of my favorite jams from him. And you guys can call in and tell us how you doing out there in Orlando, 407-894-1680. If you have a question for Chef Rich, he don't want to be called celebrity. He said, man, he just want to keep it on the low. He don't want everybody to know that what's going on. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, a quick meal or something that you might need to know, please call in 407-894-1680. We got the man, the man.
Yes.
The man in the building. What's up, Chef Rich?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Okay.
Alive and healthy, blessed.
Yes.
Amen. My mom thinks I'm a celebrity, so
I'm sure.
we have one. That's it.
Let's give a shout out to Mom. What's up, Mom? How you doing?
Love you, Mom.
So, Chef Rich, we was at your place.
Yes.
And you was schooling us on the difference between organic chicken and regular chicken. Please spread that to the world, sir.
Well, we were talking more about just organics in general, like organic vegetables versus conventionally grown vegetables. And what we found out, and what studies have shown time and time again, is there is no nutritional difference between organic and conventionally grown. You know, an apple is an apple is an apple. I want you to eat the apple. And what marketing and advertising has done is they have made it where if you're not eating organic, you're not doing anything healthy for yourself, and that's just not true.
Wow. So in most cases, we feel like we have to save our lives. So we save a lot of money for this. I've even put money on our side. It actually lessened my food because I thought I had to go to a farmer's market. So is there really farmer's market out here in Orlando?
You know, and that's what kills me too is like all these farmers markets you see passing around or you know, building up. Where is there farms around here? You know, I've driven all over the place in Orlando and there's really no farms.
No.
So how can you have a farmer's market without any farms?
And I never really thought about that because it has to be hours away so they can't possibly.
And you'll have these, you know, people will argue and say, well, I have my little flower or my garden in the backyard. And that's great. I think that's, you know, you should be eating that. But you can't really build a farmer's market around that.
No, you
know,
can't.
What they're trying to do is, you know, say, oh, it's a real farmer's market. You know, they overcharge you on a lot of stuff.
Oh, they can get away with that?
Yeah, just at the grocery store for just as cheap or cheaper, much, much cheaper.
So most cases are probably buying it from a grocery store.
You
plead the fifth?
Yeah.
I get it. Oh, man.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you got to see where are the farms around there. There isn't any.
That's so true, Prince.
Yes. I mean, you know, and then what happened? They take the little chickens. They don't, you know, sometimes they have a bigger chicken than the little chicken, and they said that little chicken, that's the organic. because you'll never see a big organic chicken. What it is, it's just a regular size
It's
chicken.
a muscle chicken,
Yeah,
and they
man.
put all the hormones in. Yeah.
So, so that's why we appreciate people that's in that kind of industry. They able to tell us the real from the fake.
Yeah, that's what we need.
The real from the fake.
I don't understand how it's just able to be sold. How can you sell this to people that are eating, and it's not
about money, honey. They don't care nothing about us.
It's all advertising, marketing, and then social
sorry.
media really jumps on and just kind of, I don't want to say brainwashes, but convinces people that, okay, this is the way it has to be. And that's not true. And again, I have no dog in the fight. I always say I work for Jesus, and that's it. If you want to eat organic after you become educated on, what it really is, and then you go for it. If you can afford it, you do it.
Right.
But what we're really here for is for the mom that is struggling, for the family that is struggling to try to put food on the table, and they want to do the right thing.
Right.
Now they can, I got to take away from the car payment just so I can buy food, this organic food, so I can do my kids right. And that's not true. That's not fair for them.
Wow, that's actually was me. I was starting to save money on the side to get organic. I felt like I just didn't feel right. I felt like I was feeding, my kids, I don't want to say poison, God bless everybody,
Steroids
but
and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you're different though, Chef Rich. The way that you bring it to the table, you actually teach us. While you're cooking. And we've been to your establishment. Impressive. We love it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I love it. I mean, it's like our second home, which we open
awesome.
up for everybody and anybody who wants to come in and eat a good meal.
And you can have a private sitting as well, Prince. You can have a private sitting reserved, and Chef Rich will cook in front of you and teach you what all this is about. Please explain exactly what you do, because I love it.
It's like a dinner show. And one of these things, just to go back a little bit, one of the things we never do is we talk about diets. It's a 4-letter word. It's a horrible word. We don't ever want to talk about it, because what happens is it's a restriction thing. Mentally it starts to beat up on you. Emotionally it starts to beat up on you. And then when you fail from this diet, which inevitably it's going to happen, what happens is you start to emotional eat. And once you start emotional eating, that's when the real problems begin. That's when the real chronic illness starts to sit in. Because now I'm eating because I'm stressed, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm depressed. And it just keeps on, it keeps on, it keeps on. So we want to stay away from diets. And I think when you look at diets, I think they're culturally insensitive. When you talk about diets, if you were to come to me and say, listen, well, you can't eat rice as this part of this new diet, grown up, Hispanic, 90% of our food is rice.
It's
rice,
always
rice.
rice.
Yeah.
Always
Rice
on
and
the
beans,
table.
rice and beans every single day. So to cut that out, or if I was Italian, then you say, listen, you can't have pasta
Forget
anymore. You just excluded 90% of my diet. So we hate talking about diets. What we really focus on is cooking techniques. We have our 3 core values that we always preach. And the first core value is smart shopping. So it's really saving you money at the grocery store, telling you what you should be buying and what you shouldn't be buying. Oh. We can just throw this out there. One of the most expensive items in a grocery store, you want to take a guess what it could be?
What is it? Hold on, let's see.
I'm thinking.
Seasoning?
I was going to say that, or meat.
Most people say meat. It's a bag of potato chips.
You're right, and they give you like
$1.89 a bag.
It's like
now.
it's like $5, $4.
No, I'm talking about just the regular bag. Now they done jumped another 10 cents since it's Corona.
But it's all air. Like
I know it is.
You're paying when you break it down. You're paying. You're not even paying for a pound. At least when you buy meat and things like that, you pay for a pound of meat.
Mm-hmm.
When you buy these, you're paying for ounces of a product.
Yes.
So and if you look at it, what people don't understand is the supermarket is like a really big real estate place. And the real estate, the more expensive real estate, are the shelves that are in there. When the shelves are eye level, that's where the most expensive product is. A company will pay more money to be on there. If you look at a potato chip aisle, it's almost the whole entire aisle. When you look at other aisles, it's always broken up and segmented. Mm-hmm. So that just tells you how much they're making on stuff like that.
It's a manipulation.
They're making a killing
I've
off
heard
of one potato.
Yeah.
And you're right. And you know what, though? I learned that. Someone told me about that. So I started shopping on the ground level because it's the cheapest going up. Is what I've learned.
And again, everything you really need is on the outside perimeter of the store.
Interesting.
You don't need really anything in the middle. Anything can. We always hear about sodium. I was reading a study the other day. I think it said like 60 to 70% of the sodium intake that most people have is from canned or processed stuff.
Wow.
What we put on food, our
60%.
little seasoning, is like 6%. It's almost nothing.
Wow.
So you want to stay away from
Canned
anything
food.
Canned food. Anything canned food. Tomatoes have a natural pH level in there, so sometimes you can get away with that. But everything else, you want to stay away from canned. Frozen is just as good. as the fresh product.
Is it?
Keep it. Hold on.
Vegetables, yes.
Hey, you guys, keep it locked right here. We got to get a song in. We're going to be back with Chef Rich, you guys. He's going to be a part of our show. He's going to kind of educate us and have us eating healthy.
Yes, I need it.
Right here on Peace on the Streets Radio Show with your boy, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
And Chef Rich.
Let's do it, y'all. Welcome back to Peace on the Streets Radio Show. And that was Rome, you guys.
Oh, he can sing. He'd be like, blah, 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 blah.
One of my favorite artists, Rome. Mimi, you really did him dirty then.
No.
You just did him dirty. How you do Rome like that?
No, he can sing, but he gets in. He's like,
I
from the
belong.
soul. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he had some of Chef Rich food. You know? I belong.
There he goes. Give him the lungs. Strong lungs.
Yes, sir.
Chef Rich has taught us so much right now behind the scenes in regards to frozen vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying it's actually still good.
And again, it depends on the season that you're buying vegetables. What a lot of stores will do is they'll get product that's out of season. And what happens, remember, a farmer has to harvest it earlier. So nutritionally, you're not getting it. Flavor, it's not going to be there because it needs to be able to go from farm to the store on that trip. So we have to pick it up early so it doesn't rot before it gets to the store. But when you do frozen vegetables, it's just as good and sometimes even more nutritionally power-packed than the fresh stuff. And it's cheaper. It's much, much cheaper.
I'm doing that, but you're saying, but stay away from canned foods.
Always stay. And again, I hate canned foods. And you'll see people that read labels. Most of the time, you need a science degree to understand what's in.
All the time.
Yeah. You look at some of these frozen, it's like carrots and celery and broccoli and all that stuff. You don't need a science degree because it's real stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what we want you to eat. And it's so easy. I mean, what I always tell people, their thing is, well, you thaw it out. Take it out before you go to work, put it in your refrigerator, and just let it sit there. When you come home from work, it'll be perfectly thawed, ready to go.
That sounds like a plan. Stay away from canned food is just as worse as fast food, huh?
Yeah, canned food, fast food is all the same.
Oh, my goodness, Prince.
Might as well eat a Big Mac. Then open in a can of green beans.
Yes. Or open up a can of spaghetti, because I grew up with spaghetti can. And he's like, that's the worst.
Spaghetti can.
Yeah, I did. I grew up with spaghetti
Yeah, and remember that, like spaghetti and meatballs and
Yes.
yeah, that meatball is
not really meat.
and a little scary there. Yeah, definitely a little scary. You want to stay away from stuff like that. And remember, anything that can sit on the shelves for a year
Makes
to 2
sense.
years to 3 years is definitely something you don't want to put in your body.
Why is that?
It's a poison. It's a chemical. Your body knows how to deal with sugar. It can deal with sugar. It can deal with some things. And I always tell people, we can definitely limit the amount of sugar we intake. We definitely don't need that.
Yes.
But we definitely, the chemicals is what kills us.
Because they saying, chef, they said a lot of times the kids are bigger than they were when we was coming up. They saying because of maybe what they put in the food.
They always say, what are they eating?
Yeah. So, how true is that?
And, and that's when I think it becomes a marketing and advertising thing where they need to blame somebody. So what they'll do is they blame farmers. A farmer has to, they take care of these animals. I've done a lot with farmers and like with livestock and things like that. So I get to understand like what they do and how the whole process actually works. Not what you see on like social media. I mean, you can always get a little window of something to make it look bad. And obviously there's bad people and bad farmers that will abuse anything just because they're crazy. But the majority of farmers will do a good job with their product. So they're not injecting it. They're not trying to make it grow. If they invest all this money first. So if I buy a pig, me as a farmer, I have to invest all this money.
Yeah.
If I mistreat it, I'm not going to get that return back.
Right.
Because the purveyor is not going to buy, a beat up, a hog or something that's been abused or it's not the right weight. So we always want somebody to blame, but it's not the farmers.
Wow. It's corporate, guys.
Yeah.
It's the chemicals. We want to stay away from chemicals. Chemicals are definitely something you don't want to put in your body.
Vitamin C. He taught us something the other day with vitamin C. I think we ate, golly, what we eat? Not cucumbers, but bell peppers.
Oh, someone just said
Bell pepper.
Rochelle just stated it. I'm going to stop eating, period. Rochelle Smith, she's one of our financial advisors. Thank you, Rochelle, for tuning in and watching Chef Rich.
And I want you to eat, but I want you to eat like real food. I don't want you to eat like processed stuff. I don't want you to eat, stuff that comes out of like a fast food joint. I want you to eat real food. And we've all grown up eating real food.
Yes, we did.
And where we've gone wrong, I don't know, but I know it's easy to get back. And what's important for me, what's important for me is, it's not only for this generation I know we can help. It's for the generations to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Studies continue to show that unhealthy parents, unhealthy overweight parents raise unhealthy overweight children
Yes.
Right.
who become parents who do the same thing. And it's a vicious cycle that continues to and continues to go. And I know if we can get in there and educate parents on eat normal, we're just going to tweak these little things for you. This is how you normally eat. We're just going to tweak it with some cooking techniques, with some different foods, and you'll see it breaks that cycle. Once we break that cycle, it's not only for this generation, it's for the generations to come.
Right, because that's all we know. That's how we grew up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's amazing. And this is what Chef Rich does in his kitchen for you while he's cooking.
Yeah, because he's going to do something special for us because we're going to go to the kitchen, right?
We're going to the kitchen. We're
going
going to
the
actually do a
kitchen,
production set
and we're
in
gonna
the
do
kitchen.
barbecue, though.
That's what
Since
you want?
Yeah, that's what I want, the barbecue. So he's going to teach us how to eat healthy with barbecue. And I can't, I'm a
Wow.
barbecue king, chef.
I know.
And, so he's going to teach us a few things on the barbecue grill. How can we find you, Chef Rich?
Well, you can definitely go to the website. Our website is www.1 and then the letters PL and the number 8.com, oneplate.com. And the reason we called it One Plate is because everybody tries to change the way they eat, like all in one shot. January 1st, I make my resolution. January 3rd, I'm already off the bandwagon eating what I normally, not supposed to be eating. So we want you to just change it just one plate a week. This week we'll just one plate, a healthy plate.
Okay.
The next week we'll do another one plate healthy.
Got it.
And before you know it, you actually are eating healthy. But it's little baby steps, to success.
Yeah, you
It's
just
not
don't
these crazy
dive
stuff.
straight in, and that's why a lot
It
of
only
people,
makes
I guess,
sense.
they don't. That's the same way with lifting weights. People go in, I want to lift weight to get stronger. No, you start lifting small, a little weight, and then it goes up. You build because you have to build your muscles. Same thing, I guess, with your eating habits. You have to take it slow, and like you said, before you know it, 7 days a week you're eating healthy, and that's the plan, right?
That is.
That's it.
Okay.
And guys, real quick, stay away from juice.
Juice.
He said it's got a numerous amount of sugar, and that's diabetes is really high.
Yeah.
Here in the United States.
And if you put gin with it, that's really all your.
I bet you it's better.
Yeah.
But you're saying most of these juices are just straight sugar water.
If you look at the sugar content in the back of a lot of these juices, there's just as much sugar in this orange juice than there is in a can of soda.
Goodness.
So it's like the same thing. You're not doing anything really good for you. I'd rather you just drink water and then eat an orange.
And I had an orange juice the other day. When I thought about it, I was like, man, because I don't forget. I said, man, Chef Rich just told me. I knocked it down anyway because I was thirsty. But Chef Rich, so you told us vitamin C can come from bell peppers.
Yep. There's more vitamin C. There's 3 times the amount of vitamin C in a red bell pepper than there is in an orange.
It's the red one.
The red
red
bell
one.
pepper, yeah. And we're going into like a bell pepper season.
Uh-huh.
So you should be able to see them all over the place right now, and you should be able to get them flavorful and relatively cheap, depending on which store you go to.
Hey.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Guys, make sure you check out Chef Rich website. You can, like I said, reserve him, have an exclusive dinner prepared for you while he's teaching you this. We're going to be there. We're
Yes,
going to do
we
a
are.
production set, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Peace on the Streets Radio. More from Chef Rich, guys.
Yes, and
welcome
it's
to
gonna
the
be something
family.
different too. Something different what he has to offer, where you can bring your family in. It can be like a love thing. It's gonna be.
I'm bringing
awesome,
my parents. My
you
parents
guys.
gonna have their own exclusive.
Yeah.
We have
gotta
multiple
go.
different classes that you can choose from. And a lot of them are workshops. So it's like kind of like a
Amazing.
dinner almost like a dinner in a movie, like a show and dinner.
Right.
I cook everything right in front of you. You get to ask questions, we interact, and then we
Ain't that nice,
eat
you
everything we
guys?
make.
I love it.
I have a young lady that is interested in being a chef, and I'm going to refer over to you. So shout out to Deja. She's watching.
Hey, Deja.
Hello, Deja.
All right, Chef Rich, can I ask you one question?
Of course.
What motorcycle gang you belong to?
I just have my bicycle. I'm not allowed to have a motorcycle.
Does he look like Harley
he
Davidson
look
type?
like a biker. He look like he's with the Hell Angels.
Yeah, I met them, man.
Did you? Yeah, I had to
I
drop
became
off some
friends with some of them.
I dropped some ribs off to them in Daytona before.
Yes,
They let
serious
me
in
in the big
Daytona.
Gate, and they slammed the gate behind me. They was over there live. Oh, I was shaking. I almost gave it to them free.
It's like that, like
But
that.
they were so cool.
Interesting.
They were so cool.
They
you
were
know.
cool.
So, and they was like, "No, you can't come barbecue on the premises because everybody ain't friendly." So, you know what I'm saying? So I just dropped my food off and got the hell out of Dodge.
You know what they did with me? They protected me. They protect women and children. And every time I was getting harassed when I was out there working,
Okay.
they would line up. There was 2 or 3 of them walk back and forth, just watching
Nice.
us.
Okay.
So
Hey, Chef Rich, we appreciate you, brother.
No, thank you so much for letting me come in here and talk about what I'm passionate about and allowing me to serve everybody.
Anything you'd like to tell the listeners before you go?
I would love for you to drop me a line, email me, ask me any kind of questions. Come down to the kitchen, take a visit. We'd love to cook for you.
Awesome. Chef Rich, I think you're a genius in this game. God bless you on your journey. Thank you for always bringing in God and Jesus Christ into this, because this is huge, and we're able to just share this and share his word while we're teaching with our gift is amazing.
And I'm glad we have a platform that allows us to say Jesus, because you have some platforms you can't even say God bless you.
You cannot.
I don't want to be connected
I don't want to be a part of that
at all.
Thank you, Chef Rich.
No,
Ladies
thank
and gentlemen.
you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
He's on the streets.
We have Dr. on the line right now, and if you didn't know, she's a mom, number one,
Okay.
and she was a professional boxer, guys.
Shut up.
Please express you. Please tell all of our listeners exactly what you're doing and the change you want to make for us here.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Dr. Sydney Banye. I'm a candidate for Congress here in Southwest Florida. I'm a mom and small business owner, and I'm fighting for our water, our health, and our community. And I have been a long-time nonprofit advocate here in Southwest Florida, working to make sure our organizations are serving communities better by becoming more efficient and effective. I really want to make sure that the sun shines on everyone in Southwest Florida, and across the United States.
Wow.
I know that's right.
She summed it all in such a short briefing, and you got to see her resume. It's so impressive. And I know that you are looking right now for donations, number one, to help you with this process, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to have support. I'm a grassroots candidate. I'm coming up on 1,000 individual donors, and that could be you.
Wow.
Everything, $1, $10, $2,800, whatever you got, I'll pay.
Yep.
But you can check that out on my website, Cindy, CINDY, the number 4, SWFL.com.
Amazing. May I ask, what was the most success that you've had so far? I mean, I know your resume is so long, but what would be your most successful project, or what have you accomplished that you would say is the most successful project?
So I'm really proud of the work that I've done with the community here in Southwest Florida. I've been working with a regional education and workforce coalition called the Future Makers Coalition. I was one of the original architects of that. And what we were doing is trying to make sure students aren't falling out. They're not, messing up their grades. They're graduating high school on time. They're getting all the way through their post-secondary education and getting good jobs so they can stay right here. I'm very proud of that work. I'm also really proud of the fact that I'm a representative to the United Nations on behalf of the International Association for Community Development. It helps me spread the word of how important it is to keep people involved in the decision-making process that affects their lives.
That's amazing, Prince. Your qualifications are insane.
I read them. When I read, I was like, oh, my goodness, it never stops. That resume, 20 minutes.
I did a few things.
That's amazing. And you're such a strong woman. And thank you so much for being with us on Peace on the Streets. We're definitely going to bring you back on air. I love what you have accomplished. I've been reading on you. I'm actually following you on Twitter, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think your work is so impressive. And thank you so much. You're so inspiring to so many women. And again, how can we find you, and how can we help assist you?
Yeah, absolutely. Twitter's a great place to help amplify my voice. You can find me there at SWFL Mom 2020. You'll see me there fighting every single day because I'm a mom. And right now, we need moms to pick us up, lift us up, and tell us everything's going to be okay. But like you said, I'm a fighter. Yep. So I'm going to be there fighting for the people every single step of the way, fighting the bullies, fighting against oppression, and making sure that our voice is heard. So send Mama to Congress.
That's it. Yes. Amazing.
What would you be able to do? Do you have any plans on your agenda for what's going on in America today with the cops and all the kind of craziness going on these days?
I've been wrestling with this for a few days in a sense, with all the tragedy going on. But here's what it comes down to. I'm a white lady, right? Racism is a white people problem, and we need to have white people step up and start addressing their own racism, their own biases, and start demanding accountability from people who act on that without thinking first. And
we
that's
do
where
need
I
you all
start
voice.
with myself.
We need the white people vote. We need you all voice because a lot of times people just they'll think when they don't see everybody's involved, they'll say, "Oh, it's just their problem." But but we do need you all to stand with us with this because right is right and wrong is wrong. If you've done something wrong, and I love cops. I got friends that police officers, and my heart goes out to them because they're trying to go back home too. but it's the cops that's the bad ones, and it just it's they want that's who make it bad for everybody.
Yeah, there's
So,
certain ones out. Of course, it's bad in everything, everything that we do. But you're right. Actually, if we stand in unity all together, that's a powerful movement right there.
Yes, it is.
That's a beautiful thing. I appreciate that. That's well said, too. Thanks, guys. I really like that. As you see, Peace on the Streets is well diverse.
Yes, it is.
We have a mix, and we love it.
Yes, we do.
It's a beautiful thing. That's why God made us all different.
We all are one.
Yep.
It's only one race.
It's the human race.
The human race. And when we get past, this race card, we'll be a stronger nation.
You think the virus kind of changed the game on that because it was more about humanity, more about saving lives, and that stopped for a period, just a little bit, it stopped, and then now these videos, have come out to release again.
3 of them.
Three, I know.
People in a month that's been killed by cops.
Been murdered, guys.
Yeah, it's been murdered. So we all have to stand in unity together, and we all are one and on part of one race, and that's the human race. We appreciate you, Doc.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. And I tell my students at the university, at Florida Gulf Coast University, that we're different and we need to respect and honor where everybody is and listen where other people are coming from. And that's how we build our unity.
Okay.
That's it. Dr. Sydney Banye, thank you so much for being with us on Peace on the Street.
Thank you, darling. Welcome back. And that was genuine in those jeans.
Those jeans, boy, got him in trouble. He ended up getting married and left the game.
Oh, yeah, he did. And a lot of women were sick.
Yeah.
They knew they wasn't going to get the pony ride. We had some song with the pony or something.
Right? That pony, yeah. That was a classic.
Yes, it was. We have another call-in guest.
That's it. Miss International World.
Yeah.
Miss Latina International.
Woo!
If you didn't know, she was also at pageants, and also she's a CEO of these organizations. Miss
Right.
Angela, are you there?
Hello, my dear. How are you?
A pleasure, Miss Angela. Thank you so much for being with us again on Peace on the Streets. You're with us every week. We are her official media.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do go overseas with her as well.
Right.
A beautiful thing. Miss Angela, what do you got going on for the organization? Again, we know that there's online casting calls. We are really excited about that. But what's going on right now for Miss World International, Miss Latina International?
Well, we got some great news, and it's funny that you get 2 girls that are actually vying for the same thing. We have our current reigning Miss International World, Galia, who is going for the cover of Maxim magazine.
Wow.
What?
And I know these girls. Okay, let's go.
You interviewed all of them.
I
huh?
did.
I mean that is great. She's and they actually put it in as Miss International World, and then of course Jenny Rosario, who's with the Florida National News, she's also going for the cover in her division of Maxim magazine.
Yay!
So we were excited to have 2 Miss International Worlds that are going for that cover, and it's like every day, I'm going in and voting for both of them. So,
Wow.
But they do have different divisions, and if they win in their division, they actually would get $25,000 to go towards the charity of their choice.
Wow.
So
they're just doing it just to do it. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that is really going to be good. So we're very excited about that. With all that's going on, we're still keeping everything alive with magazines. And as a matter of fact, I just got in touch with Pageant Planet magazine, which I happen to be with, and I'm going to be having a conference call with them on Friday, and right now they're doing a very big marketing promotion. So I'm going to be featuring some of the girls, but they also said that I could feature my sponsors. So I'm definitely going to put Peace on the Street there.
Hey!
Yes.
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you, when you're part of Miss Angela's organization, you're part of the whole entire journey.
Right.
She truly thinks about everyone. And there's multiple individuals. I don't know how she does it, but she really does, and she doesn't forget. And that's what you want to be a part of, guys, someone that could elevate you. Get you on a whole nother level. Network, connect, and security.
Yes.
And us as women, we don't really have that. And to have someone that's really protecting us, and let me say, she's pulled me out of Miami projects, things that were not right for women out there.
Right.
And it's a blessing. So again, Miss Angela, I love what you do. I love the organization. I love the women. They're amazing. They're still my friends. They're still sending me messages.
That's what's
They're
up.
supporting Peace on the Streets.
Yes.
It's such an honor. Miss Angela, how can we find your work? Because I would love others to find this organization. They really need to look into this.
Well, Instagram, we do a lot on there. You can find us on there on Instagram. We're on MS, Miss International World. And, of course, on Facebook, Miss International World, MS Latina International. Or they can also get me, on my personal page, which is basically all about the pageant, Angela Pasilico. And, to be honest, with this with COVID-19 and everything that's going on, a lot of things are getting rescheduled. We're probably one of the very few pageants out there that is still promoting. A lot of the pageants that are postponing for next year haven't even set a date, and I think a lot of them are waiting to see what's going on. But now Bahamas Cruise Line just finally got clearance from the governor and the CDC today. One ship is actually going to go out on July the 25th.
Wow.
The ship that we were going on comes back October the 3rd. It'll be fully renovated. So we will probably have a new date later this week. Tito will be giving us a date. And when we go on, we will be the only group that will be on there so that things can be dedicated to us. And I'll tell you, Bahama Paradise Cruise Line really wrote the book on how they're going to do sanitation and keep people safe and healthy. And the big announcement that I think came out of that today is we were the only cruise line that did not have any cases of COVID or a flu with our passengers before the CDC said we could not sail.
Amazing.
So that was great. And they are also bringing doctors on that are familiar with COVID. So if, God forbid, somebody does get sick and they think it could be related to COVID, they'll know what to do. And also, there is a doctor that just got in touch with me. She's pretty famous. She's been on. Can't think of her. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank with her name, but she's been on MSNBC. She's been on the Today Show. She was so impressed with the Folding at Home program for COVID-19 that she wants to get involved with the cruise line. So I think she'll be sailing with us. And,
Wow.
If we've got people that are familiar with what's going on, I think that's going to be a big plus, and that's going to put everybody at ease.
Absolutely. And we're a part of that journey as well. So we'll be overseas with Miss International World and Miss Latina International. Miss Angela, thank you so much for being with us again. And big shout out to Mr. Glenn from WOKB. He's watching right now.
What's up,
He's
Glenn?
something great.
All good in the house.
Yes.
You can find Glenn All Good every morning.
That's
So
right.
I think from 8 to 11 or something like that.
On WOKB. I've been a part of his show. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much, WOKB. Troy, thank you for telling me to calm down because, Mimi never calms down. Thank you to our listeners and our viewers. Miss Angela, thank you so much for being with us. Again, if you want to find her information, don't worry. It's on our page at Peace on the Streets Radio. Also on our YouTube. You can find behind the scenes, the interviews, clips of Tito Puente Jr.
Yeah.
And if you know who he is, you need to look him up. Thank you so much, Miss Angela. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
Got it there. Thank you.
God bless you. Coming up next, you guys, we have Alexa with sports.
Yeah.
Take care, Miss Angela. Peace on the street. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in to Peace on the Street. It's time for sports with Alexis and that was Genuine. I'm just stingy, baby. I don't want nobody else to talk to you but me.
Man, I miss R&B.
Yeah, the smooth R&B.
Thank you for keeping R&B alive, friends.
Hey, that's what we do right here on Peace on the Street. That's what it's called, the Quiet Storm Smooth R&B Jams. Alexis,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Peace on the Streets.
how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I am doing wonderful. Glad to have you in the building, our sports reporter.
Yes. And she's looking quite lovely.
I mean, she must got a hot day. We don't know what going. She's shining today, y'all. She is shining. It's good to see you, Alexis.
Yes.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
All right, so tell us what's going on in the world of sports.
Well, I actually have some questions for you guys. You know that we have been dealing with the coronavirus, everyone, and it's been impacting everyone. So I want to know, how do you feel sports leagues are handling the COVID-19 crisis?
Oh, wow.
I think they've been doing pretty good. So far, they've been keeping everybody's distance. They letting them practice. Not too many people practicing at one time. And they just trying to stay safe for what I see.
Yeah, I seen on Orlando City, they practice together, but when they sit down, they're spread out.
Uh-huh.
I think they're doing it quite well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I know that I honestly, the NFL has done a great job with the draft being online, not having everyone in a big group,
Right.
a lot of fans.
And that's when it first hit out. That when
yeah,
it first
absolutely.
hit. That was really big for the NFL for to cancel all of that.
Yeah,
that was big.
absolutely.
Yeah, and I
draft.
know that they're doing Zoom calls, having practices with heart rate monitors so that they can keep track of all of the stats of everyone's body, making sure that they're good to come back and actually be involved in practice.
Uh-huh.
And then I've also known that they have had the quarterbacks and wide receivers meet up. They're putting masks in the helmets. They're trying
Really?
to. Yes, they're creating a prototype actually. And I know that the NHL is doing that as well.
Wow.
Even horse racing, they've halted all of the races, postponed the 3 biggest races, the Triple Crown, and they're even only allowing essential personnel on the grounds now. They're not even allowing reporters or any owners. The owners aren't even allowed on the track.
I say beautiful.
Okay, but you mean to tell me they can't be in the stands separated 6 feet? I guess they're not doing that.
No, I mean, if you think about it, especially with huge leagues like the NFL, there's tailgating constantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how are you going to be 6 feet apart at a tailgate?
Yeah,
Yes.
people, because we seen it at the pools over the weekend, and man, I mean, the pools was packed.
Pools, yeah?
Yeah.
I know the beaches were.
The beaches, the pools, and different parties, and they
Pools.
saying it's not
Wow.
against the law to, they can't make people stay their distance, So, okay.
Yeah, that brings me to my second question. If sports were to allow fans back into the stadiums, would you guys go?
Oh boy.
For me,
TV is good for me.
I'm staying home for quite some time. I'm not comfortable yet. Not yet.
Yeah, that's how I feel, especially with this past weekend. I heard that everyone was getting together for Memorial Day parties, and the COVID-19, all of them are rising again. The numbers are rising.
Yeah, it is.
So I feel like it just takes you back to the second wave. Will that happen?
But
Yeah,
it seems like, Alexis, the younger generation is not getting it.
That's the thing. And you know what? I've actually, the first time as a young lady that we know that has worked with us, she's in her early 20s, and she got the COVID recently by just a memorial party, just by family and friends coming over. Just by that, Prince.
Right.
And this is someone we know. First person I know.
Okay.
Here in Orlando.
Oh, boy.
So they're not taking it as serious, and even bringing family over for functions and friends, it's still, they could be the carriers, guys.
We never know.
And they may be all right with it. And you may not.
Uh-huh.
So that's it's happening. We still gotta stay away.
Yeah.
And I don't think sports is gonna open yet. I think they're handling it very well. I just, as of right now, no.
Yeah, no. How about you?
Yeah, I agree with you guys 100%. I think the NFL definitely has the right idea by creating the noises and having the fans in the stadiums just to keep that energy for the players because
Right.
of the different levels of play. I think that will definitely help them.
I agree.
I do think, though, that there would be people out there in the stadiums if they could be.
You think so?
Oh, yes. If they were to open
Really?
it would be jam-packed.
I agree.
Really?
I have to agree.
Yes. Yeah. Look at the beaches. I mean, just look at what happened over the weekend. I mean, they had bars, people gathered up. I think they closed 2 Chainz, his restaurant, down because but it really was BS of how they did them. It was still congested. They wasn't complaining about it being congested. They were saying that people, if you dance, you got to dance at your table. And they were just dancing all over the place, and that's why they came and shut them down.
It's just not meant there. You just can't have it like that in that capacity.
We appreciate you, Alexis.
Oh, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so
right.
much for these questions. Good questions. And big shout out to Full Sail because they're watching.
Yeah.
Hey, Full Sail, thank you so much for us
And
having
it's Professor's
Alexis.
birthday today.
Professor Kim from Full Sail, God bless you. I've given her so many shout outs. She's probably like, Mimi, go to bed. Professor Kim from Full Sail, thank you so much for being a part of our family. Alexis, thank you so much for sports. We need you. And Prince, thank you so much. WOKB, we love you guys. Don't forget, the saddest thing is wasted talent. Don't waste the gift that God has given you. Go full force. Don't let fear or intimidation stop you. Buenas noches, Orlando.
Yeah, bony knees to you too, Mimi. And you guys, we thank you all for being a part of Peace on the Streets. We thank you, Alexis. We thank you, Miss Angela. We thank Doctor for calling in.
right.
And the whole crew, the chefs. They
Chef
call in
Stu, Chef Rich, yeah.
Yeah, we had an awesome show today.
Amazing lineup.
And we'll be back on again next Wednesday. You guys stay safe. You guys remember, if the police stop you guys, remember hands on the steering wheel. Make sure you have your ID out. And hey, yes, sir, no, sir, goes a long way. You just trying to get back home. And if they arrest you, hey, if you got to go to jail, do it calmly and peacefully. That way, you can't beat the police out in the streets.
That's it.
So, hey, show some respect.
And real quick, my Nurse V guys, test centers at Apopka Violin and also Mid-Florida Tech, also Apopka High School. All next week, 9 to 2:30 p.m. You don't need an appointment. You can, or you can walk in. Thank you, Nurse V, for that, and still wear your mask.
Yes. Peace on the streets, y'all. We out. See you all next week. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Peace on the Streets radio show with your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
This is the Heavy Production.
Late night, feet up, ride round, still up, Peace on the Streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Street. Kicking it with Prince of the South and your girl Mimi. And they make it look way too easy. Peace on the Streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Streets. So you gotta tune in. Wednesday night, 9 to 11. Get with the movement. Promise you and I regret it. With no hesitation. Yeah, grab your lady. Just turn to the station. WOKB 1680 AM. Peace on the Streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Streets. Peace on the Streets. You gotta listen to Peace on the Streets.